I don't want to get married. I just want to, yeah, I want to do that. What's up, YouTube?
What it is?
Welcome back to our YouTube channel.
The Hangout with us.
Today is a Monday and we are having a chat room.
Yes, another chat room edition. We on Mondays just like to sit down and talk. Hopefully
About
that sets the tone for your
things.
week or when, and
Yeah.
let's just have a conversation.
Before we start though, we would just like to welcome our new subscribers. Thank you guys for finally joining us, and to our old subscribers, welcome back.
Yes. Thank you for coming over and over and over and over
and over.
Facts.
Tell us about the topic.
Yeah, so you guys, today we're talking about discussions or conversations you should have within your relationship, right? Remember, this is not about the first questions you ask or whatever. This is not about before the relationship or whatever. It's just conversations you need to have at any point you want to within a relationship.
But even though I would like for some of them to happen before.
Sure, but like, yeah. So the thing about it is sometimes some conversations you can't have because it's not your place. You're not my person yet, so you can't be asking
No,
me
but if you pursue me, then I am soon to be your person. So I have to ask some questions because my decision will be based on those things.
Alright then, okay, cool. Like I said, you can have these whenever, but it's just important that you have them.
You have them.
These are just things we feel you need to pay attention to and have a conversation about
them.
Disclaimer, we are not relationship experts. We are not Dr. Date Me or whatever.
Yeah, no, this is solely based on our relationship.
Our experience, right? And what we feel we did right and what we want, what we wish we would have done.
Yeah.
Or whatever, right? Yeah.
Whatever is
applicable. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna be going back and forth, and just sharing what we think.
We feel,
are noteworthy conversations to have within relationships.
Let's get into it.
Here we go.
So my first one will have to be money. Money. I honestly feel like it's very important to have a conversation about money when you're in a relationship because it can cause fights. I believe it can cause fights in a relationship.
People have divorced.
Yeah, because of money. So you need to know the person that you're in a relationship with. How do you guys decide on handling money in your relationship?
What is their
is it a my money, your money, or is it money essentially type of thing? So because one thing I've noticed is that if it becomes imali yako, like it's difficult to run the house, or because then like no one wants to use their money. Definitely no one wants to use their money. Right, so now like we basically gonna both of us sit and be like, okay, so one of us will say. But yeah, so I just feel like
even with that, like there's I'm not telling anyone oh there's something wrong with what they feel is their life philosophy. I'm not gonna tell you, hey, if you have money you must bring it in. That's your choice, right? But the conversation is important in that both of you will know if your attitude or your ideas about money mirror each other or complement each other, or if anyone needs to make any adjustments with regards to how they handle money and what their relationship is with money. So my one, I think you also need to have a conversation or get to some way of establishing what your person's relationship is with their family and what they view family to be. So this helps because eventually you guys will become a family. So also you will interact with each other's family, whether you want to or not, and very often. So it helps because it also helps you navigate each other's families. You know, if I told you, oh, look, I'm very close with 1, 2, 3, and 4, then you know, okay, these people you will have in your life somehow. And what I view as family, you can then adapt to it much easier than if we don't have the conversation, you don't know how to relate with my family, and you don't know what my attitude or what I am likely to how I am likely to act around our family as well, and how I'm likely to handle that position or relationship as well. So relationships about family dynamics and whatnot, I think you should have.
I want to add 2 things. Firstly, what happens if, like, how do you control a situation whereby you have people in your family that you don't get along with, and now I come into the picture. When I come into the picture, I'm supposed to be like, I'm not supposed to get on because
Sure.
you know, so like how do you then handle that, because you have these people who you necessarily like don't get along with and you obviously don't trust, but then I then come into the picture and I'm just in the middle of like.
So here's the thing, I feel, firstly, and this is not like the complete answer, firstly, I feel we owe it to each other to defend each other when it comes to our families. Right?
Yes.
But you also need to be able to call each other out privately and also ensure that each one of us could say we contributed to building in terms of the other person's family. If I can do anything to help your relationship with someone else within your family, then I'll do that. Of course, I'll handle you with greater care than anyone else, but I think if I can help it, I'll help.
And then another thing I wanted to add is that sometimes, so the other reason why it's important that you guys have that conversation, sometimes you find I'm not like family orientated, or
Facts.
I'm not a like I'm not a family person. Maybe I just stick to certain people in the family or like very close family. So also that is important, because obviously when I get into your family, now it's a matter of me having to adjust and, you know, being more open to, especially if your person is like got
family,
like a huge family as well, and you're just like, oh my gosh, what must happen now? Okay, and the next one will have to be marriage. Also, you need to talk about marriage. You need to know, because you also might have this thing, Yaguti. I don't want to get married. I just want to I want to do that.
I don't know what that means.
I just want to get a puma, then they test waters.
The opposite of marriage is not necessarily hit and run. Some people can just stay with each other forever without ever getting married.
Yeah, that's true.
And to some people that holds a lot of weight. Some people want to be married. Some people want to just be with each other. And if you might
avoid
find
all
that
the complications.
Exactly. You might find that everything is working well, but the other person wants to get married, so that puts like a bad taste on everything. So the conversation about marriage actually needs to happen. And
another thing
of
you can go.
I was gonna go into
the next one. Okay. And another thing is also, if you come from maybe you come from background whereby marriage is not a thing, or maybe your parents didn't even get married. So you obviously have that bad taste in your mouth about marriage, like
bad perception as well.
That's not working. So also that you need to talk about it, because it's very important to know if your partner wants to get into marriage as time goes on, because then your intentions are clear from the beginning. Are we gonna work or not?
And again, look, you don't have to, like, in these conversations, more especially this one, it shouldn't be I think it shouldn't be a call to make a decision now on something.
True.
Right? If you're gonna talk about our views on marriage, it shouldn't be a case of that's already proposing. Like that's not. I don't think. I think the two should be separate, and they should have their own time, right? And if I'm gonna have a conversation with you about marriage, if you have a bad view of marriage or a bad perception of marriage, and I have a great one, let the conversation grow. Let the conversation expand and show each other things that you hadn't considered before. Who knows, maybe one of you might swing the other way or whatever. But these conversations are not meant to pull you into a decision immediately. Speaking of marriage also, the kids conversation has to happen. I think it's very important to know what you're getting into, but also know what is a hard no, because sometimes it's like, I'm not thinking about kids right now versus I don't want kids. These are not the same, right? So you need to be able to know if it's I want these things to happen before, or I never want kids to happen, or anything like that. And you too, you need to put your feelings on the table to be like, look, I want kids, look, I don't want kids, or whatever it is. But either way, the conversation needs to happen.
I think that's straightforward. I don't have to add anything. Either you want them or you don't want them.
Either you want to
Yeah.
go on Pagatu or like don't want to.
Okay. So next one will be the running of household. So I specifically feel like also that comes with intentions as well. So obviously if you guys end up being together, you need to know how you're going to run. It's not necessarily household, but the relationship also. How you're going to run your relationship, because you don't want to be in a situation whereby you are running your friendship based on, you are running the relationship based on how you run your friendships, for example, or how you run, or how your friend runs their relationship, and you want to bring it into your relationship. So I also feel that you guys must also talk about how you actually want to run the relationship so that it can work for both of you guys.
Also, so the relationship dynamics and the roles that you guys choose to take, I think it also needs to be seen whether these are in line with each other, right? So if I am the I am right. If I am that guy and if I'm that guy, I'll obviously want to be the money in the relationship as well. So if we need to be able to figure these things out, because what happens when I don't have money? What happens when the original, because in the beginning it works well. I'm the money nigga, I will pay for everything, I will blah 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 blah. But then what happens when I can't fulfill what I deem to be a man
at
in
first,
a relationship?
yeah. So now I'm just like,
exactly. Also with you as well. You if you want to be bought things, let's say for instance, if you feel the guy has to be the money, or if you feel it's 50-50, or if you feel you wanna be a sponsor, whatever it is, just make sure that the two align with each other. And it is clear from, like, it's not just you seeing, oh, okay, this one likes to spend, so it's fine, I like being spent on. Put it out there, because then it ensures that both of you are on the same page. Because a lot of times we think that the other person gets exactly what we're thinking because of our actions, and sometimes you just need to put it out there.
Just also on that, also, if you are going to be a person who, just like you are saying, who likes to provide or who likes to tenga things and to be that, just ensure that that is your lifestyle as well.
Facts.
Because you don't want to start something you can't finish.
Maintain as well.
Yeah, so you because hey, it's just not gonna work, because you're gonna do it the first 2 years, and then the third year it's just like, babes, I can't. And then what's babe supposed to do?
And how dumb go there.
Exactly. So just do things that you know you can do.
Next one, I think you should have a conversation regarding friendships. So friendships can be can make or break a relationship. Friendships can literally show you the friendships they hold and how they conduct themselves within these friendships can tell you a lot more about a person than they can about themselves. And you need to also be aware of such things. You need to be aware if your friend can, like, the opinion of your person's friends weighs a lot or not. If they are driven by what their friends think, that's a concern. If they still have friendships with like ringleaders and stuff, that's potentially a concern. So you need to know that, like, if say for instance you have someone who holds friends like very highly, that could be a good and bad thing depending on the friends. And the friends could literally, you could come behind the friends, and the friend's opinion of you might matter more than his opinion of himself, his opinion of you. So this might be the reason to go into or not go into a relationship. This is why I said it's not really easy to have these conversations whenever. You can't like talk. It's not really easy to talk about a person's friends and what the opinion before you get into a relationship. You can't really talk about, hey, you and your friends, like, you think your friends are all that. It's a terrible way of saying it, but you get what I'm trying to say.
You get it.
You get what I'm trying to say. So yeah, I think also the conversation regarding friends and the role friends play in your life, as well as by implication your life as a couple as well.
All right, I also feel the same way. Even though it's not most of the time, but mostly your friends identify the type of a person you are.
Yeah.
Not mostly.
Often, let's say often.
Yeah.
A lot of times.
A lot of times it happens.
Yeah.
So yeah, that just defines who you are. So it's also important to take note of that, because you can get into a relationship thinking this person is this way, only to find out later,
So that nope.
All right, so next is fight resolutions.
Big one. Big one.
Honestly, do you think we struggle with that?
No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
I don't think so. I think here's the thing. Fight resolution does not mean you solve fights instantly. It's not about how quickly you can decide to stop fighting. It's about the extent to which you get into the issue, I think. Some people want their time to marinate in their emotions, to feel what they feel fully, and want to take time away from everything and be with themselves and whatnot. That is not to say that people are bad at fighting or whatever. It might actually be a better way of solving things, because once you step out of the situation, it's easier to see it fully. So I don't think it's about quickly saying, okay, no, Askis, I'm sorry, then we're done. I don't think that's what it's about, but I think it's more about solving what the actual issue is. Sometimes it takes longer, sometimes it's very quick. I don't think that should be a bearing on how well you guys do in fights.
Okay.
But this was your point.
I don't have anything to say.
Anyway.
I just feel like, just fix your problems. Talk about them. And also, what is important is that you don't also share some of those things with family or with friends. Because also it might come back to bite you.
You will forgive, and
and they
you
will
want
not,
to forgive. They might not necessarily want
they
to.
might not, and obviously it puts you in a difficult situation. So when you are facing that situation, rather talk about it with your partner, resolve the whole issue. And if you're a person who shares, I don't know, maybe share after, just to, even with that, I don't know, why would you share with someone else after it happens? Because mostly you share because you want advice from someone else. But just
sharing is giving someone a platform to put their 2 cents
into the relationship.
And I don't know if you want that.
Yeah, no, it's not cute.
Anyway, I also think, and this is maybe just me, this is not like something we sat down and talked. Okay, we've talked about it, we've done it, but we didn't talk about it being a topic. I think it's very important to have conversations that will show your person's outlook on social issues. I think you need to, as a couple, you need to talk about things like gender-based violence, things like gay rights and all of that. Like just social issues that I think people's response to social issues kind of shows you who they are, and also kind of shows you how they treat other people as well. Because it's debatable whether how your person treats you is a true reflection of them. or because how I treat you could be a reflection of how much you mean to me, not really a reflection of me. I could treat you amazingly,
but outside,
but I could be a trash person outside. So how I treat you might not 100% be who I am. It might, but it also might not. So talking about social issues and getting your person's response on such, I think, is actually important in figuring out who they are, and also teaching as well.
Yeah, because I also feel it's very important to share such things, as I say, because also, like, it's very unfortunate that as I am, or like as women, we've spent so much time together, but at the back of my mind, I still have that thing about, like, anything can happen anytime. So it's also very important to share these things, because then you get to know, even though it might, I don't know, like, it gives that benefit, but at least I kind of know you because we share these things. I hear how you talk about these situations, and from that alone, I can then take and something and say, okay, like,
I can expect this.
I can expect that. So and so. That's why I'm saying I don't want to say, okay, I'll say, no, I know you based on this conversation. But for the mere fact that we talk about it, and we talk about it like a lot. So it's not a situation where you would see we just share about this when it happens and it ends there. Because from that, I can't take anything. But if we talk about it constantly, then I can try and figure out how you feel towards this. And that alone can tell me the type of a person you are.
Thanks. And also, it's like issues like these are important to have discussions about, because a lot of times you aren't aware of how you are programmed and conditioned until you actually speak about these things and you start noticing things. You start figuring out, oh wait, why is it that I could be out until whatever time, but a girl couldn't? And so you kind of figure these things out as you go along, and it's a great platform to learn about yourself and also take in other perspectives as well. So outlook on societal issues, on social issues, I think are very important conversations to have with your person.
So my next and last one is boundaries. So also with boundaries, I feel like you need to talk about your boundaries, and this is also wide. It's not specifically boundaries in your relationship, but it's boundaries as a person, like the type of person you are, because obviously the things that you do determine who you are. So if we have our own boundaries as a couple, then we can be able to say, okay, this is a person that I don't know if to say built, or because build maybe is the wrong word, because now it feels like you are creating this person. No, but like just to tame, I don't know what word to use, but because you can find a person animal to or like but once you find that person, and like your personality can bring this person back to a normal person, or
you can have a positive effect on the person.
On the person. So also that setting boundaries also help with that, because if you know your partner doesn't like all of these things that you do, you become a better person for him.
And that at times adds to you being a better person
for yourself as well. Because you might have been doing things that are like but you had nothing to live for, so you're just living.
Also in terms of boundaries as well, there's boundaries within the relationship, right? There's boundaries that like, okay, all is fun and well, all is great until this point. And after this point, yes. So you have certain boundaries regarding anything, regarding time, regarding intimacy, regarding whatever things you have. And also it's easy to go from that conversation to what are your deal breakers, because most of the time deal breakers are outstepping of boundaries. So if you go further than you should, because remember, you're my person, you always have the benefit of the doubt, right? I push myself to see, not even push myself, I instinctively look for good. It doesn't have to be something I am aware that I'm doing, but most of the time it's if this happens, because this is my person and this is the person I know, how do I, or what was the good in this? Is an immediate question that I ask even before I'm aware that I'm asking it. So you will always have the benefit of the doubt, but overstep boundaries, you get easily into a conversation about deal breakers, and certain things are bigger deals for other people than others. You might lie to me once, and I'll be okay with it. You might lie to one person once, and because of their history or their life, they're like, it's done. So yeah. My last one. I think a conversation regarding, and I'll say all of these words because they kind of merge into each other. I'll say belief system or belief, religion as well as spirituality. I think these conversations need to be had. And this is not to say both of you must have the same. This is not to say both of you must follow the same religion, must have the same view on spirituality, or that you have to follow any religion whatsoever. Even if you get into belief or no belief, whatever it is, but the conversation needs to be had to see if it's best to have this conversation so that you can marry your ideas about your outlooks on these specific topics, because most of the time they could build you as a person and be instrumental in what makes you. So your view on life or whatever could highly be based on your view on these three things. So that conversation I think needs to be had as well.
Also more because of respecting the other person's belief or yeah. So I also feel like it also has to happen based on that, because we can start in a relationship only to find out that maybe I'm not that person, I don't believe in those things. And then at a later stage, at a later stage it becomes a problem because you're just like, we can't in this house do those things. We can't pass like here. And then I'm just like, hey, Bo, Puti, what are you saying? So, you need to know these things before you start or during. And all of these things we said, I feel like these are conversations you should have early in the relationship.
Yes.
Because then those things build your relationship.
And also, I think you should be open to someone's view changing on these things. You might find that someone is, the partner example is the easy one to make. Someone is completely against partner and whatever. And then something happens that kind of clicks for them. And then all of a sudden, this is the thing for them or whatever. Allow people to go into themselves and change their viewpoints on certain things as well. If I say this thing today, that's not a lifetime commitment to that thing that I said as well.
But also on that, if you are gonna say, I not go for example.
Yes.
I feel like you as the partner, don't give me an impression that you are not even willing to look at that. Like, don't have a problem with me saying go and because then it becomes as if, so you're not being considerate. So it's not gonna work out. But if you come to me and be like, okay, sharp, if that's what you do, Kolona, sharp, but we don't practice it. That gives me this thinking, okay, it's not that you have a problem with it, it's just that it's not something you do. Yeah. And at some point, there might be a time where you actually change your mind, as you say, or a time where, yeah.
And also, look, throughout these conversations, remember you guys are a couple. Treat each other delicately. Treat each other treat each other how you would like the other person to treat you. So be delicate with each other. Understand that you are touching potentially fragile topics and conversations, and be mindful of each other. Speak in a way that you think will build rather than destroy. Speak from a point of adding positivity and not necessarily negative, and never make anyone feel inferior to you or whoever for believing whatever, for having a certain standpoint or whatever, as long as but also call each other out for your bad behaviors and your bad outlooks or whatever. I mean, if I believe, and this probably I'm going overboard, if I believe I'm entitled to you and whatnot, that's not only hey, I think this. That could have like real serious life implications. So such views, yes, you call them out. Yes, you go in. Yes, you speak to your person. Yes, you affirm on your message. But through it all, remember, I'm your person. You are my person. Fragility and agility. Okay.
Yeah.
These topics are fragile. Everyone is getting vulnerable, and treat each other with common courtesy and respect and care and all of that.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Yes. I think we're
This is where
done.
we end.
Yeah, this is where we are done.
Yeah,
And
no, we
let
are.
us know what you guys think.
done.
Remember, we are not experts. There's plenty that we haven't touched on. A lot that we have not touched on. I don't know, maybe romance. Anyway, yeah. So anything that you guys feel we've left out.
Yeah, or all the other experiences or all the other things that you guys have spoke about with your partners.
I don't know what the difference is. Talked and spoke.
All of those things that you guys have spoken of, or how
or what you wish
your
you
relationship worked, like the things that you guys had with your people.
Yes.
That worked for you guys. Also, just put it under the comments, because we are here and we are teaching each other. So there's some other things that we might take lightly, only to find out they are actually part of the list, or you feel they're important. So please do share on the comment section so that other people can also learn. And
please like the video as well and comment, even if it's just to say nam ganjalo,
or
even if
like
you're
whatever. Even if you're saying Gila, like
hashtag road to 200.
Yes, please. We are hashtagging to 200, guys. Please help us get to 200 subscribers.
Guys, talk to us.
Share our videos, like our videos, comment on our videos. Also, we have an Instagram page
@_HangOut WithUs.
So please do go and follow us.
Come through.
You can also follow our personal pages, though. I am at Tandanani Maluleke.
I'm @_Goodland. You can see I like underscores. @_Goodland, that's me on Instagram. Tandanani Maluleke, that's her on Instagram. Follow us. Let's talk. Let's make it a conversation, and let's see what comes out of this. Let's talk. Let's have fun and continue with the hangout in the comment section. Yes, I think we're done now. We can say bye.
Okay.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bye.